It's up to both guys what they want out of this. Tyson knows he's got to change everything, 380-degree turnaround. And if he's not prepared to do that, well, good luck to Usyk. But let me tell you, once Tyson's head's on, Usyk's not the man to do it.
Tyson Fury lost his second fight just a week ago, and he's still not over it. First, he said the judges cheated him, claiming he actually won by 3 rounds. He even compared the experience to getting kicked in the gut every day, wondering what it all meant. Fury didn't hold back, saying boxing had lost a great champion and that it was a shame the big undisputed fight might never happen now. There were even whispers that Fury planned to appeal the decision, but for some reason he decided not to. Instead, he's now pushing for a third fight with Usyk. At some point, it's better to just admit when someone's the better fighter. Otherwise, you risk making choices that might seem desperate, like asking for another match against someone who's already proven they're a step ahead. Tyson Fury has lost 2 fights in a row, but he's still holding on to the idea of a third match. His father, John Fury, doesn't think it's a good idea. He's urged Tyson to take a step back, regroup, and handle things more professionally. If everyone stops being stubborn and acts like grown-ups, we could make the right fight happen, John said, making it clear a trilogy isn't the smartest move right now. This disagreement has created a lot of tension between Tyson and his dad. John has even questioned his son's legacy, saying the way Tyson is handling the loss could damage how people remember him. Instead of focusing on his incredible career, John fears Tyson might end up being remembered for the wrong reasons. The Fury family isn't exactly the most loved in boxing. They've been involved in plenty of controversies, and while that might be why they rake in huge paydays, it's also why so many boxing fans and pros can't stand them. Now, imagine if Tyson Fury takes on someone like Daniel Dubois. Dubois is more than capable of pulling off an upset, and a loss like that could seriously hurt Tyson's career. For some fans, though, the real entertainment might come from watching Tyson go head-to-head with his own dad, John Fury. Their feud has been brewing ever since Tyson started making choices that John doesn't agree with. Whether you're a die-hard boxing fan or just here for the drama, a Fury vs. Fury fight would definitely be something to talk about. Tyson Fury got everyone talking when he admitted in an interview that he'd cut ties with almost everyone close to him except his trainers. Fans had been urging him to kick his dad, John Fury, out of his corner, and it looks like Tyson may have finally listened. When asked about the drama with his father and how things were before the fight, Tyson said, "I haven't spoken to anyone. Shane's been with me throughout the entire camp. We spent 60 days locked in and focused." Even with all the tension behind the scenes, Tyson's skills in the ring were on full display. His strength, strategy, and experience were just too much for Derek Chisora to handle. Tyson came in with all the tools needed to dominate, proving that sometimes blocking out the noise really pays off. Tyson Fury didn't shy away from talking about the tension in his camp. "We've been stuck together non-stop and it's been rough. He's called me more useless things than I can count," Tyson said, hinting at the strain. Even his cousin Hughie Fury only stopped by briefly 2 weeks ago, and beyond that, Tyson has kept things tight and focused. "It's not easy," Tyson admitted, "but sometimes you just have to do what needs to be done. When I say I haven't spoken to anyone, I really mean it. I've been completely locked in on the fight and staying focused in camp." As for Alexander Usyk, Tyson had a blunt take. Will he be furious, angry? Probably, he said with a shrug, but Tyson didn't seem bothered. His focus stayed where it always does, on the fight ahead and proving himself in the ring. When asked about how Usyk might feel about their upcoming fight, Tyson Fury seemed pretty calm. "Nah, I don't think he'll be furious. Everything will be all right," he said, brushing off any tension. Tyson then shared a bit about his recent training camp in Malta. "The weather was nice, dry and sunny, and the facilities were top-notch. My daily routine was pretty simple: gym in the morning, then back for food, evening gym session, then back for more food. After that, I'd chill, watch TV, and head to bed early. The only time we left was for gym or church on Sundays. That was about it." When it came to his role in camp, Tyson joked, "I'm not the leader of the clan, I'm the father of the clan," laughing it off. Even with all the pressure of the fight ahead, it was clear Tyson was staying focused but still keeping things light. After Tyson Fury's second loss to Alexander Usyk this year, his father, John Fury, has been venting on social media. He's mainly been directing his anger at Usyk, the judges, and the World Boxing Council for their role in the fight, but recently he's taken aim at his own son. John wasn't holding back, calling out Tyson for being too laid back and unprepared, suggesting that his lack of focus may have been a big reason behind the loss. It's clear that John's frustration is reaching new levels, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. John Fury wasn't holding back after his son Tyson's loss to Alexander Usyk. On the broadcast, he kept saying Tyson wasn't going to win the fight, that he needed mercy. When the referee finally stopped the fight, John mentioned how there was blood everywhere, but praised the referee for doing his job. Still, his anger didn't stop there. He lashed out at Usyk and the judges, calling them robbers, for what he believed was a manipulation of the system in Usyk's favor. However, despite initially accusing Usyk of cheating his son out of victory, John Fury didn't hold back when it came to Tyson. He criticized his son for putting in so much preparation only to fall short in the end. It was a mix of frustration with both the system and his son's performance. After Tyson's loss, John Fury couldn't hold back his frustration, especially with the critics in the UK who were quick to doubt his son. Every TV company was ready to drop him by Monday morning, John said, expressing how hard it was to see Tyson get such harsh treatment. Tyson had spent months training in Malta, cutting off all communication with his family, including his wife Paris and his father. The only people by his side were his trainers Sugar Hill Stewart and Andy Lee, and later on his brother Shane Fury joined the camp. John felt that Tyson had taken things too far, isolating himself and hurting their relationships, and after all the sacrifices, Tyson still came up short in the fight, leaving John with a deep sense of frustration and disappointment. Tyson Fury's loss in the fight had people talking, especially with his father John in the corner. It almost felt like a comedy act, and it seemed like John's presence was distracting Tyson throughout the match. This wasn't something new. Many boxing fans and professionals had been saying for a while that Tyson needed to make a change. Finally, after hearing the criticism, Tyson made the tough decision to remove his father from his corner for good. It wasn't an easy choice for the former world heavyweight champion, but he realized that John had become too much of a distraction. This decision played out on Saturday night when Tyson fought Alexander Usyk for the undisputed world heavyweight championship. During the title fight, John Fury could be seen shouting directly into Tyson's ear, making it hard for him to hear the important instructions from his more experienced trainers Sugar Hill and Andy Lee. This behavior didn't sit well with many people, and he faced a lot of criticism for being too overbearing. But this time, his toughest critic wasn't just any fan or boxing expert, it was Joe Egan. Egan, known for being Mike Tyson's sparring partner and famously called the toughest white man on the planet by Tyson himself, finally shared his thoughts on Tyson's decision to remove his father from his corner. His words added fuel to the growing debate over John Fury's role in his son's career. Joe Egan and John Fury have been going at it lately, and Joe didn't hold back when he spoke to Carl Frick. He was straight to the point, calling out John for avoiding a fight with him and claiming there was no money in it. "I've stepped up and accepted your challenge," John Egan said. Clearly frustrated, he took aim at John, accusing him of always wanting to take the glory for himself, even if it meant putting his son Tyson in a messy situation. For Joe, this was the perfect chance to get back at John for all the drama that's been building up between them. The drama between John Fury and Joe Egan has been building for months, especially after a series of heated exchanges on social media. It all kicked off when Big John Fury, at over 50 years old, challenged anyone of the same age to a fight. That's how I remember it, but feel free to jump in if you recall it differently. In a recent chat with Carl Froch, John Fury even brought up the moment their feud started years ago, which we'll dive into later in the video. But their latest war of words really heated up a few months ago, and that's what has sparked this whole back and forth again. The tension between John Fury and Joe Egan didn't end, even with John still reeling from his son's loss and his surprising decision to part ways with him. It all started when John made a bold statement, claiming that no 58-year-old on earth could beat him. Joe Egan, never one to back down, quickly responded in a video saying, "Hello everyone, I think I've got one last fight left in me. It's been over 20 years since I last fought, but John Fury is a good friend of mine and he's a strong fighter." He kept things respectful at first, but then reminded everyone that he's still the toughest white man on the planet, making it clear he wasn't backing down from a challenge. Joe Egan made a bold statement in a video saying, "I haven't fought in over 20 years, but John Fury is a great fighter and a good friend of mine, just like me. I think the two of us could put on an amazing fight in Saudi Arabia. Let's show the YouTubers and the Saudi royals what two old warriors can really do." After issuing the challenge, Egan sat back, waiting to see how John Fury would respond. Even though it had been years since his last fight, Egan, known for his bare-knuckle fighting days, was confident he still had what it took to go toe-to-toe in the ring. John Fury, the boxer and father of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, had been quiet for a while. Maybe he was dealing with a lot already. His son was in a war of words with former super middleweight champ Carl Froch, and Tyson had even called out the legendary Mike Tyson. But Joe Egan wasn't about to let up. He pulled out his secret weapon, his old sparring partner, Iron Mike Tyson. In a video posted online, Mike Tyson made things clear. "John Fury, you've really got my friend Joe Egan fired up," Mike said. "You said you wanted to fight me, and you even told Russell Crowe you could take me on." That was Mike Tyson adding some serious heat to the growing feud. It was clear that John Fury was now in the spotlight for more than just his son's loss. Joe Egan wasn't holding back after John Fury's comments. Mike Tyson jumped in and made things even more intense. He told John Fury, "You've really gotten my friend Joe Egan upset. You said you wanted to fight me, and then you told Russell Crowe he's a fraud." Tyson was letting John know that Joe was serious and now after him. Tyson added, "I hope this fight doesn't happen in England because I'm a felon and can't go there, but Joe is definitely coming for you, John Fury, and I've got his back." With Mike Tyson backing him up, Joe Egan wasn't backing down, and he made it clear that he was ready to take on John Fury. In a recent video posted on X, Tyson Fury made it clear he was ready to fight Joe Egan under one condition. He said he'd only agree to the match if KSI paid him PS $200,000, money he claimed he was owed from a bet on KSI's fight with Tommy Fury last October. Fury explained, "Alright, Joe Egan, here's the deal. You're talking about KSI backing you with millions, but they still can't pay me the PS $200,000 they owe me. Tell that rat next to you about the pineapple and why they haven't settled my debt. I'm not hard to work with, mate. But at the end of the day, this is about business and getting what's owed to me." Tyson Fury didn't hold back when talking about Joe Egan. He said, "You're out here saying you want to make some money and that you'll fight anyone if it makes sense, but here's the deal. I told myself I'd never do business with that guy again, but now you're making all this noise online. It's getting personal. Joe, you better hope KSI backs you with those millions because you're still going to have to fight me when we face each other for being disrespectful. So here's what you need to do, put an offer on the table." Tyson Fury wasn't holding back. He made it clear, "You're going to have to fight me whether you like it or not, and when the time comes, there's no backing down, it's all in. Now, if KSI is really going to back you and pay me to fight you, then I'll consider it. But let's be clear. I'm not here to work with just anyone. You're out here talking about making money, and trust me, I want to do the same. I'll fight anyone as long as the deal makes sense. So here's the deal. Let's see if you can get something solid out of this, because when I see you, it's going to be all business." Tyson Fury didn't hold back when he made it clear, "Here's what needs to happen. Pay me the PS $200,000 I'm owed. If not, then forget it. I won't waste my time with you, Joe. But when you see me, hey, you're going to have to fight me. Let's hope they can figure it out so we can both make some money. Because when I see you, it's game time. No backing out." Things went quiet for a while after that, but the drama picked up again this week. John Fury headbutted one of Alexander Usyk's team members, causing chaos. This time, Joe Egan didn't hold back and called John out once more. Looks like the tension is far from over. Last Monday, just ahead of Tyson Fury's big fight with Alexander Usyk in Saudi Arabia, John Fury caused a huge scene when he headbutted a member of Usyk's team. It was a shocking moment that quickly made headlines. Since then, John Fury has apologized for his actions, but the criticism has been pouring in. In his apology, John said, "I want to apologize on behalf of the boxing world to the Saudi royal family and the people of Saudi Arabia who have been incredibly welcoming to the Fury family." Even though he said sorry, it looks like this incident is still making waves in the boxing world. Joe Egan didn't hold back when he called out John Fury after his recent actions. Taking to X, he said, "I think everyone has seen the way this bully John Fury behaved. I want to apologize on behalf of the boxing world to the Saudi royal family and the people of Saudi Arabia who have been so welcoming to the Fury family. This man needs a lesson in manners. And if he's brave enough to step into the ring with me, I'm the one to teach him." Joe made it clear he's ready for a showdown and he wants to be the one to put John Fury in his place. Joe Egan didn't hold back when he called out John Fury. He made it clear, saying, "I want to apologize to the people of Ukraine for the actions of this scumbag. If he ever has the guts to get in the ring with me, I'd love to smash him to pieces." Egan also added, "The world wants to see this man put in his place, and I'm the one to do it." This all came during the week of Tyson Fury's biggest fight, which made John's actions even more surprising. Even though John apologized later, he still tried to explain himself to Sky Sports News, saying, "They disrespected my son, the best heavyweight to ever step into the ring. The tension was high, and it's clear Egan wasn't about to let it slide." John Fury recently tried to explain his actions, saying, "I wasn't causing any trouble. I was just chanting my son's name, but then they kept getting in my face, trying to provoke me. I'm a fighter, and if you step into my space, you're going to feel something." He went on to apologize, admitting, "I'm sorry to everyone. It just happened. That's how we are as fighters." But despite his apology, people are still talking about what happened, and now Joe Egan is stepping up, ready to challenge John for his behavior. The drama continues to unfold, and it looks like this is far from over. Joe Egan didn't just challenge John Fury. This time, he laid the blame for Tyson's loss to Alexander Usyk squarely on John's shoulders. Speaking out, Egan raised doubts about Tyson's commitment to the fight, pointing to moments where it seemed like the Gypsy King wasn't fully in it. He was being incredibly disrespectful, Egan remarked. "Anyone who knows anything about fighting knows that if you invade someone's space like that, you're asking for a fight." But it seemed like Tyson just didn't take it seriously enough. Egan's message was clear: the lack of focus and disrespect may have cost Tyson the biggest fight of his career. The question remains, did the Fury family let distractions get in the way? Joe Egan didn't hold back when he criticized Tyson Fury's approach to the fight with Usyk. He believes Tyson got too caught up in his own hype, thinking his natural talent would automatically win him the fight. While Tyson did show some flashes of brilliance, Egan thinks he couldn't keep it up because he wasn't in the best shape. Plus, there was the added distraction of his father, John, giving him instructions instead of relying on his expert trainers, Sugar Hill and Andy Lee, who know boxing better than anyone. Egan even compared Tyson's current fitness to his earlier years in boxing, where he looked much more focused and in shape. He clearly feels Tyson didn't give the fight the serious effort it needed. Joe Egan thinks Tyson Fury got too caught up in the hype, believing his natural talent alone would be enough to beat Usyk. While Tyson is undeniably talented and showed flashes of brilliance during the fight, he couldn't keep it up because he wasn't fit enough. On top of that, he had the added distraction of his father John giving him instructions instead of his trainers, Sugar Hill and Andy Lee, who know far more about boxing. Egan compared this version of Tyson to the one who fought Klitschko 10 years ago in Germany, when Tyson was in the best shape of his career. He also brought up Tyson's fights with Deontay Wilder and Ngannou and Wallin, where Tyson wasn't in the same kind of top form. It all makes you wonder if Tyson took his training seriously enough for such an important fight. Joe Egan had a lot to say about Tyson Fury's performance. He mentioned that even though Usyk wasn't fully fit, he still came close to beating Tyson, which shows how much Tyson struggled. Egan thinks there are too many people in Tyson's camp who don't push him to train harder or challenge him when needed. He believes someone needs to step up and tell Tyson to get back on the road and train like he did in the past. Tyson has an amazing ability to fight, like when he got knocked down by Deontay Wilder but still managed to get back up and outbox him in the 12th round. But Egan also didn't hold back when it came to Tyson's corner team, especially his father John Fury. According to Egan, the chaos they caused during the fight was a real mess and he didn't hesitate to call it out. Egan made it clear that Tyson's camp needs to get their act together. Joe Egan didn't hold back when he said that John Fury's actions in the corner were a big problem for Tyson. He believed that John's constant talking and distracting behavior made it hard for Tyson to focus. Egan questioned how Tyson could have properly prepared for the fight with his dad always stepping in and giving instructions, especially when Sugar Hill and Andy Lee, who know so much more about boxing, were right there. It wasn't just during the fight either. Egan felt that John was likely causing problems in training as well, trying to tell Tyson how to do things his way instead of trusting the coaches who had years of experience. Egan made it clear John's interruptions were a huge distraction and they didn't help Tyson in the slightest. Joe Egan didn't hold back in criticizing Tyson's camp, but he also gave a more balanced take on the actual fight. While he had issues with John Fury's presence, Egan acknowledged that the fight itself was close. However, he was clear about his thoughts on Tyson's preparation. Egan stated that Tyson wasn't fully prepared, mentioning that, despite what people were saying about Tyson's weight being on point, he wasn't fit for the fight. According to Egan, Tyson was only performing at about 50% of his potential and hadn't properly trained for the challenge. So while it was a close battle, Egan believes Tyson wasn't at his best. Joe Egan didn't hold back when talking about Tyson Fury's fight preparation. He made it clear that Fury wasn't in shape for the fight no matter what anyone said about his weight being perfect. Egan pointed out that Fury was just not fit enough. He kept stressing an important point: failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Egan said Fury's training camp wasn't well organized. Instead of focusing on the fight, Fury was in Dubai watching the Ngannou vs. Joshua match just 9 weeks before his own big fight. Egan, however, wasn't blind to it all. He had been paying attention to Fury's every move, noticing several moments that showed Fury wasn't truly prepared for what was ahead. Tyson Fury's approach to preparing for the fight was all over the place, and you could see it. 7 weeks before the big match, he was in Manchester holding a press conference without Usyk even being there. Usyk stayed focused and didn't let anything distract him. Then, just 4 weeks before the fight, Fury took a break to visit his family in Morocco, spending time with his kids instead of training. He wasn't putting in the effort he needed, and we've all heard the saying, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. His training camp wasn't serious. He was in Dubai watching the Ngannou vs. Joshua fight 9 weeks before his own. For a fight like this, you have to make sacrifices, but Fury clearly wasn't making them. This lack of preparation showed in the ring, and it cost him. Tyson Fury missed out on making the right sacrifices in his training camp, and it became clear in the fight. Look at someone like Mike Tyson. He never took breaks for distractions like being a YouTuber when he was preparing for a fight. That's how serious he was about his matches, even with someone like Jake Paul. In the world of heavyweight boxing, you don't usually see fighters dancing around in the 12th round after going through 11 tough rounds. That kind of stamina was something you saw in the Muhammad Ali days. But Fury was the exception, usually known for his incredible engine. However, this time, his engine failed him because he didn't put in the work during his training. He didn't take the training seriously, and it cost him when it mattered the most. Leading up to the fight, Tyson Fury was spending time with his family, visiting his kids. While it's understandable in boxing,